This is how you make brand. When you have a queue that big on a random rainy morning for people coming all over the world to come to first ever Starbucks. So it's here in Pike Place, Seattle, Washington, at the public street fish market where Starbucks was first made. So whilst queuing for entry into Starbucks, they had someone posted outside who was in charge of the history and just knowledge of Starbucks. And so he asked, do you guys have any questions about Starbucks and what we're doing? And so I asked, yeah, give me some of the stories of the biggest challenges Starbucks ever faced as a company. And he said, which cracked me up, I don't think they've ever had any. It's just been smooth sailing the whole time, which made me absolutely piss myself. Anyone who runs a business knows it's never smooth sailing. Or very, very rarely, because if it is, you're not trying to grow, right? And I want to share with you guys a story that stuck me a long time about Howard Schultz, the guy who bought Starbucks from the founders and turned it into what it is today. So he used to work at Starbucks after being interested by one of their large coffee orders, got working with them, and then when the founders decided it was time to sell, I think they were selling for 3.8 million, Howard didn't have the money himself to buy it. So he was gathering some investors to collect the money to be able to purchase it. And he had just found out that one of the investors was going around his back to make the purchase directly. And what's funny is he was very good friends with Bill Gates Sr., who at the time was an absolute titan of Washington, right, of Seattle, in business generally. And he was having this meeting with Bill Gates in his office. And he's there like, I can't believe it, this is what's happening. And Bill Gates Sr. is like, this is awful, come with me. So they stand up, they walk across the road. And he's like, where are we going? Well, goes up a building and realizes, as they walk into the office of the guy that was going around him, Bill Gates stands over the man and says, you will stop pursuing Starbucks and you will never get in the way of Howard Schultz owning Starbucks ever again. And it did. That stopped it. But right there and then the whole thing could have gone. And then he got the backing of Bill Gates Sr. and Jr. As well, which is crazy. And this just got me thinking that the fact that no one knows about this story of how close he came to Starbucks not existing as to what it is today, there are so many of these pivotal moments throughout the business's journey that aren't remembered because they're not the story that the public find interesting, but we as entrepreneurs really enjoy those because it's powerful to know how to solve problems. And so I want to share with you my key takeaway for today is a quote from Jimmy Carr. So Jimmy Carr doing some stand-up comedy, someone asks him, what's something dumb that rich people understand? He didn't really understand the question. He was like, I don't understand what you're talking about. He's like, but let me give you a frame. Rich people know that money doesn't get rid of your problems. You end up with different problems. But the world has the wrong view around problems. And he said, which I think this is beautiful, problems people think of as a bug of life, when they're actually a key feature. And all a problem is a requirement of your attention. I think it's a beautiful way to phrase it. And he was like, all you got to do is give it your attention and you'll be just fine. Like, you've been fine every time up until now, and you'll be fine every time after. And I think that's a really nice way to view it, because we only have time and attention. And you may accumulate resources and skills throughout your life. But this is why big entrepreneurs like Elon are willing to swing and take the biggest swings with everything. Because when you die, the only things you will have had is is time and attention, and putting your attention towards problems. And so really, if you're not solving problems, your attention isn't really focused in the right places. And I like that as a frame, which is why generally the CEOs of companies who run stuff like this, you get filtered the biggest, hardest, baddest problems that other people haven't been able to solve. And that's your job, is to step in and fix those. One of the main parts of the job, if you're taking over a company like Elon does, that is very much the job. For most entrepreneurs at the level that we are now, you're likely doing lots of everything as well, and you're creating systems and all of that. But at the end of the day, this is why I did a degree in physics. It's learning how to solve problems. So that's the thought. If you've got an issue with problems, and some days I do too, that's okay. But just try and switch it out to problems being a feature rather than a bug. And that all they mean is it requires your attention. And just give it to it and you'll be fine. Alright, there you go. A little brief thing about Starbucks being in Pike Place, the first ever one, whilst I'm here in Seattle, flying out at the moment. And just the key takeaway of business isn't always rainbows and sunshines, and the problems are okay. They're an expectation, they are a guaranteed price of wherever you're trying to get.